today is the Makara Sankranti. In India, actually yesterday was, I think they celebrated there yesterday, Makara Sankranti. So this is the day the sun now transitions back to the northern side, Uttarayan. Okay, so it was going south and then now it's coming back. So Sankranti means transfer or transition. Okay, sun basically enters into the Makara Rasi. So this day is called Makhara Sankranti. That's what it is. So in South India, the Makhara Sankranti is also celebrated as Pongal, in fact. It's very famous. Every state, throughout India, they have different names for the same thing, but they celebrate in, little differently. So yesterday in Gokul Bhajan, Gokul Bhavan, we really call there. Gokul Bhavan Kanyakumari temple, they celebrated Pongal. And on this day, yeah, so let me put my... So that is this tradition of actually boiling this, rice and then offer to the Lord, sweet rice and all those, sweet pongal, they do sweet pongal. And especially the thing is, they also use a lot of sugar cane. This time, oh my God, so many sugar canes and, it's amazing, very good. So people in general worship sun god actually. So worshipping sun god is basically background, because why? The sun is the one which is really transitioning to the Uttarayan. That's why. All right. And it is very, very special day in many ways also. Many people, many devotees observe by going to the sacred rivers or lakes and take bath in the, basically they will actually to take bath and for what? Thanking the sun. Because without the sun, there is no life at all. So also remember the same Makara Sankranti is related to the Kumbh Mela, because that happens only 12 years. So when the 12 years actually coming there, then the 12th year they do this big Kumbh Mela. Okay, so this is one of the world's largest mass pilgrimage, and it was estimated that about 60 to 100 million people attending the event. That's what they are saying. Anyway, at this event, they say swear his prayers to sun god and bathe at the Prayag. Prayag is a main place. It is at the confluence of the river Ganga and river Yamuna. So this is actually a special Pongal and the puja performed for Sri Sri Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. And actually, now we have very, very nice setup. This DKNAS is really helping us to really collaborate in so nicely. They just simply upload and then we really pull that up and then make any video or anything like that. It's so nicely working there. So this is their celebration. Okay, so anyway, you got it. So the primary worship on Makara Sankranti goes to the sun god. The worship of sun god is aimed for getting more wealth and make us rich. In fact, that is where they really start with. So now, several decades ago, now I will actually tell a small story to link back here. So also, Krishna Priya really nicely touched on the topics as those 6 bad qualities. Because of that, we are actually dragged into this Maya. And I will just touch on that and then expand that as a incident that happened. Several decades ago, in India, this incident happened. There was a rich man, lived in South India with his wife. They had only one child named Keshavan. Very rich actually, or actually born very rich, because he inherited from his father or whatever that child. So he was very rich. But he lived a very, very simple life. So once the whole family with their son were traveling in a train to visit their friends, this boy, Keshavan, was only about 5 or 6 years old. But he used to be restless. So this boy was actually very restless, compared to the simple life, of the parents. He's a little restless. And also he was not taking care of responsibility, and he was literally basically carefree. That was the case. So usually in the India train, there used to be so much of gossip. So here, the husband and wife were engaged in gossiping with others. This is typically happens. You really get into the train and you really introduce, and then finally, all of a sudden, you will share your food and these and everything. All kinds of things will be happening and gossiping. This is how the thing is, so, right? So now they were actually, both were gossiping. This boy, being restless, used to run back and forth. On that day of these incidents, when the train stopped at the station, along with others, this boy also got down, and he happened to see an ice cream, the shop there also nearby. So he got some pocket money. So immediately with that money, he really ran to the vendor. Of course, there are a lot of crowd. In India, trains are so crowded too. So he was waiting in the line and trying to give the money, and then of course eventually he really got the ice cream after waiting. So he got ice cream. Then he was trying to get back into the train. But unfortunately, the train started moving. He was trying to get back to his compartment. But the train started moving. The boy simply did not know what was his compartment even. It was because it was moving. So he was trying and trying, and he could not get into the train at all. The train simply left. In India, where the safety is a big question, the fact. It is said that every 5 minutes, a child arrives alone on a platform in India. This is how India is. Parents are careless as they forget everything in the gossip, and children are also careless. This is what cause of so many problems. So Keshavan started crying as the train was now moving faster and faster. So with the ice cream in his hand, he was crying. Soon he was alone on the platform. As everyone, then they're all left. In India, who cares? Hardly anyone cares about others. So seeing this boy crying, a man, because there was nobody there. Of course, he got a dirty cloth. He came to him and asked, "What happened to my son?" The boy told whatever that actually happened. And this man happened to be a wicked man. He was so happy that he got an opportunity for his business. He said, "Don't worry, I will take you on the next train, and we will go together, catch your train and meet your parents there." So the boy believed. So saying this, he took the boy into the next train that arrived in a few minutes. And Keshavan was impatient. He was afraid of the look of the man also. So the man with Keshavan now got down in the next station somewhere. As soon as he got down, he grabbed the boy and forcefully took him to his small, some dungeon or hut or wherever. The boy was crying, "I want my mother, I want my mother." But that man said, "They are gone. You cannot meet them anymore. Until we find them, you have to be here with these children." What are those children? Who are they? Who were they? They were all other captured children. Because see, now there are, people are running business out of it. They will catch the children, take them all the way somewhere, and then, torture, and then finally make them to really beg. So all these children were engaged by that man in begging every day. These children begged sometimes on the street, and sometimes in the train. Look at here, you saw the statistic. Every 5 minutes, there is some child that without any parent, we just come. Why it happened, we don't know. This is the statistics. Soon, the parents of Keshavan noticed that their son was not there. They searched the compartment, bathrooms, all the places. Their son was not found anywhere. Then they realized what might have happened. They did not know what to do. In panic, they pulled the emergency chain. The train, of course, stopped. But what was the use? There was no use. They got down, and then, of course, they came out. What's the problem? What's the problem? But again, they cannot really get their son. So they got down in the next station and took a taxi and returned back to the previous station. They searched all over the place. Of course, they could not see their son. They complained to the police. Now, you know how the police works. They also stayed in that location for several days, searching for their dear son, but they could not find their son. Then what happened? Several weeks he was crying.
But then what could he do? Nothing. Time went by. Well, along with his other begging children, he also started begging. Sometimes he was forced to beg on the streets and give the money to his caretaker. That was the way he really trained. And other times he was forced to beg in the trains and bring money to his caretaker. His other beggar children also taught him how to sing. They also taught him, how to really go to the trains and then, clean the floor, and then so that you get some money, and then, you have to really go back and then give it to him. Of course, that man was feeding. So anyways, whatever it is. Now months passed and even years passed. Now for him, the only parent was his cruel caretaker. Now he was about 10 years old. As usual, once he was cleaning the compartment floor, and he did not notice a man and woman sitting there. The woman saw Keshavan and he was shocked. She immediately told her husband, "This boy looks like our Keshavan." And hearing this, the boy also looked at the woman and the man. He could easily recognize that they were his parents. They haven't changed a lot during this 5 or so years. The woman also pointed at Keshavan's cheek. He said, "Oh, even the mole is there on the cheek. This is my Keshavan." And he started to cry, and then he just grabbed that boy. "You are my son. Are you not Keshavan?" "Yes, mother, I am. My name is Keshavan." "Yes, you are my mother." Both embraced, and of course, he was wearing untouchable dress. But that did not matter anyway. Both were crying, and his father stood stunned. All as immediately what they did, of course, they wanted to get down in the next compartment and go back to their home. And also all the fellow passengers who also really got deeply touched. They all they could not believe, this miracle, like a miracle, big story. So they all came back to his own home. So Keshavan now remembered his big bungalow. It was his own home. And now Keshavan is not a beggar. He is not a slave. He is not poor. He does not have to even work for pennies, because now he inherits the richness of his father. In fact, in India, parents usually give their whole life for the sake of their children. They will starve even, but to make sure the children are comfortable. So this is how our Vedic culture is. The same way, our real father, Lord Krishna, has saved a lot of wealth for us. Because why? We are his children. There is no limit of this wealth he is readily waiting to give to us. And it is rightful claim we can make. Why? Because we are the children of the Lord. So this particular thing is nicely told in Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is also one of the very favorite slokas of Srila Gurudev. So this is the sloka, Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, "Tattenu kambamsu samiksha shamano bunjana evatma kritam vipakam kritvag vapurbir vidadan namaste jiveta yo mukti padesa dayabak." So this is very, very, very intense. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his own karma, but offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible to get your supreme wealth, for it has become his rightful claim. Okay, so this is the thing. So now what we are doing is not that way. You see, even though we know, right? So even though all the scriptures say that he is our father and mother, right? Pitaham asyo jagatto mata data pitamaha. Okay, this is Bhagavad Gita. So the logical question comes, oh, if I am the child of Krishna, then I should inherit all his wealth too. The answer is yes. as we are his children. Every one of us has the right to claim his wealth. Then you can say that is great. But when he's not going to die at all, it doesn't work that way. Unlike in the material world, right? It doesn't work that way. In fact, we have to die for him. So provided we are qualified to be his real child, not remain as a lost child in the jungle. Under Maya, we are lost child to Krishna. We saw the example. So also here actually, actually the acharyas are actually explaining that when one comes to that stage with intense bhakti yoga, then he is qualified because he is cleansed out and he knows his original identity with Krishna, that he is actually what? Every jiva is part and parcel of Krishna only. Yes, he is eligible and he will be promoted to the kingdom of God. We are actually lost and caught by the Maya. Like that boy, we all ran away from the parents. Which parents? That is Krishna, just for an ice cream. We ran away to gratify our senses. So we were caught by the wicked Maya, like that wicked man in the story. And Maya made us to be her slaves, like that wicked man. Maya is making us to suffer, work so hard for pennies. And we even think that we are the body. This is where we are stuck. And with all the 6 bad qualities that we really heard, so we are actually entangled here. So a sincere devotee earnestly desires to go back to the Lord's abode. Therefore, he willingly accepts the Lord's merciful punishment. Why he is taking the punishment? Because he has to cleanse himself. Unless a gold is, gold is actually all with this, all the dirt. So how will you purify the gold? You have to what? Melt them. So all the dirt, everything, all the things will really burnt away and become pure and pure and pure and pure. That is exactly what that Bhagavan is actually going to really force us to go through, so that we get cleansed and then we'll get the experience to understand, oh, this is the world. The world is really very bad. It is not, it's full of miseries. Yeah, we really heard of that also. Again in the lecture, we heard that. This world is completely miseries only. In the beginning, it may really sound a little better, but one by one, everything will start really giving problems. Your body, your mind, and your neighbors, and your this, and your whatever money, everything is going. It will give problem for you. It is not, you are not going to be happy. So, and Maya is very, very, very powerful. But some jivas are even powerful to really, with their vairagya, they can actually come over with the weapon of sadhu sangha. So now the question is, can we run away from Maya? Sukadeva Goswami, who is a narrator of Srimad Bhagavatam, did not want to come out of the womb of his mother for 12 years because he did not want to get any touched by Maya. Then only Bhagavan, Sri Krishna gave the guarantee. Arey, I have some, some reason that you have to come out. And yes, I am promising you, you are not going to be really touched by Maya, guaranteed. Yes. So he came out when he was born. Of course, not like a child. He was, it was like that. So it was so amazing. And as soon as he was born, he renounced his order of life. So we have to renounce. So he even did not go through the ceremony of sacred thread and other things. He simply ran away from the home. But Vedavyasa could not tolerate. He was crying for his, oh my son, oh my son. But Sukadeva Goswami never even looked back. Never looked back. He walked with no dress. That is vairagya. That is renunciation. Why he got that renunciation is because he was actually a holy soul. He was already purified soul. So he was really he was actually targeted to really come and then preach this Srimad Bhagavatam. There was a reason for his coming. That is why he really came. So now this Srimad Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami is saying about this particular incident. He's saying, Yam pravritta jandam anupetam apeta krityam tvaipyayano viraha katara ajuhava putreti tanmaya tayataravo binedus tam sarva bhuta hrudayam munim anato vasmi. So he's saying his father, Vyasadeva, fearing separation from his son, he was crying, oh my son, to call his departing son. But Sukadeva Goswami never looked back, in spite of the cry from his father. Indeed, only those trees which were so absorbed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the worried father, Vedavyasa. Do we have that kind of vairagya and courage? Or power to run away from the Maya? So this is the situation. But how many are there like Sukadeva Goswami? We volunteered, actually we all volunteered to be caught by Maya. Like that boy, that is how we got into the Maya. And we target our goal to be filthy rich in this world. This is the only reason we go to the temple. To become rich and prosperous, we worship all kinds of gods. You can worship all the gods, not a problem. But as long as you really try to really satisfy your senses, Krishna is not going to hear you. So actually, does any of this matter to us to really go back to Krishna? Do you think that Krishna is going to say how rich you are? Oh, you are the richest people in the world. All right, you really come to pay. Is that the qualification? No, it's not the qualification. It's not. It is actually disqualification. But however, a sincere soul like Sukadeva Goswami will run away from Maya, but will desperately try to connect to his father. That souls, they will be hungering to get a guru or somehow or other to get connection to his father. So if we have to have a connection to Krishna, we have found the real father. And then we don't care who is the richest in the world or even the richest in the whole planet. All the planets, no. And the material wealth has absolutely no value in the spiritual world. That person who connects with Krishna is the richest of all the richest in all the planets in the entire creation. So here is a summary of today's class. 1, we have to understand that Krishna is our own father. Pitaham asya jagato mata data pitamaha. 2nd, we have to understand that we are lost due to our ignorance and caught by Maya. Because started with our lust, anger, all the qualities. That is how lust is where everything starts. 3, we have to understand that by connecting to Krishna, by sadhu sangha, only we are finding our real father. Somebody has to really give a connection. Otherwise, how will you know? Are you seeing Krishna? No. 4, we have to understand that we are actually extremely rich. This is a very important point. That's a sloka that I really put that as a core. Every soul is extremely rich. Because we have kalpa vriksha. In the spiritual world, we have kalpa vriksha. Anything that you really ask, you will get it. So that means it's infinite. See, you don't have to work hard, nothing. So this richness has no comparison to all the richness in the entire creation. Number 5, we have the full right to claim our right to get the wealth of our father and mother, Sri Radha Krishna, as we all came from them. Again, Tatte nukampa susamikshamano bunjana yevatma kritam vipakam kridvagva purbirva pidadan namaste jiveta yo mukti padisadaya bhag. So this is the core of the thing. Always remember, we are not orphans. We have father. Like in the case. Now you think about the case. Keshavan was lost. because of his own problem. He really got the lust to enjoy something. He was really attracted. So he forgot everything about his own father and mother. He ran out, caught by the Maya. Right? But then later, because of the mercy, then things really started coming. And then finally he really got united. Think about this one. We are all rich, filthy rich. There is nothing to compare that kind of richness. Even, remember again, as I said, entire planets, all the creation, you take all of them, it's not going to be equal. So you are all rich. We are all rich in so many ways. Spiritual richness is very, very high. So also on this day, we offer a new Tamil bhajan to Sri Radha Madan Mohan for this very auspicious day of Makhara Sankranti. So now, even though we really made a sample, so I would ask Madan Mohini. Yeah, she's. Yeah, okay. What is the meaning? Yeah. Madan Mohan alagai parungal. Madan Mohan alagai parungal. Avan geethangalai thinamum paadungal. Madan Mohan alagai parungal. Avan geethangalai thinamum paadungal. Madan Mohan, look at the beauty. See, this is the same photo that they sent just yesterday or something. I really got that. And this is the same. Look at the beauty, how they decorated. All very nicely with so nice flowers and then so nice dress. Look at how nicely they are actually looking. Bright dress, beautiful. And that's what it is. Madan Mohan alagai parungal. So what the Madan alagai means? The beauty. Look at the beauty of Madan Mohan. Avan keethangalai thinamum parungal. That means you always sing and praise him. Sing the glories. Sing bhajans. Sing for him. Right? Then Radhayudan Kaatki Tharubavan Avan Padangalil Galin Arulai Nadungal. He's the one who is actually not only he's actually showing, giving darshan with Radharani also. Yeah. Right? Avan Padangalil Arulai Nadungal. That means get shelter, so you really have to really take the shelter of his lotus feet. Right. Kumari Karayil Kovil Kondavan Arum Karunayulla Radhe Madhavan. Kumari Karai means Kanyakumari. He is actually having a temple in Kanyakumari, and he is so merciful. Why he is merciful? Because he is Radhe Madhavan. He is with the Radharani. Otherwise, he is not that merciful. Okay, because of Radharani. And Kolamudan, okay, now Kolamudan Nadanam Seibavan, he decorates himself as a wonderful dancer, and he dances and dances and dances. All the demigods cannot even see that beautiful dance. They will all come to his rasa dance. Kolamudan Nadanam Seibavan, Avan Gokulathai Mahila Vaitavan. He was actually born in Gokul, and the whole entire Gokul was really so blissful. Anandam. Okay, now Neelamani Varnam Kondavan Namai Leelagalal Mayaka Vaipavan. Neelamani means blue jewel. That's the color. So his Varnam, his color is Kondavan. So he is having the color of Neelamani. And Nammai, also what does he do? Leelaigalal. He is doing so many leelai, means pastimes. With those pastimes, we are really making us really so blissful and forget everything else. And also, we will be really so mesmerized because of what he's really doing. Kulal Udi Konjum Keshavan Avan Pugal Padi Bhaktanangal. So he's the one who really has the flute. And by singing on his flute, what happens? He is actually, so the whole everything, all the creation is dancing, in fact. And he's actually doing, and then Konjum Keshavan with Radharani and all the, so he's all together beautifully. They are actually looking, and beauty again, you sing his glories. But then also become a devotee. Konjumani Salangai Anindavan Nam Nenjam Magila Geetham Paadungal. He actually wears the salangai. So salangai means, that you really wear on the anglets, right? So with that, he just, he just dances there, especially on the hood of the Kaliya. When he was dancing, so beautiful. There was one poet who described that, like how nicely he was actually doing dances, and putting his lotus feet on every hood but on the top of that. So what do? So you really be in your heart. You become so happy, and with that happiness, you sing bhajans for him. Paadungal, Keetam Paadungal. Tanjam endu vanda bhaktanai. Whoever comes to him as for the shelter, he tan swandam endu kaathu kolbavan. He will take you, that close. Of course, it's true. That's what the harikatha we did. Isn't it? When you really cleanse yourself and you really become qualified to really see that, oh, that is my father, I am his son. When that comes, yes, you are Swandam. Swandam means you are actually now family. Okay, he belongs to you and you belong to him. Okay, so that's what the same harikatha. Now, with that meaning, I want Madan Mohini, because Madan Mohini is somehow, I don't know, she's getting this Tamil song so perfectly, and she is even singing, pronouncing better than a Tamilian do. This is the thing. I don't know how she is doing it. So I would ask Madan Mohini to really sing this song for us. Then.
Bhajan
You are so rich, actually. Happy Makara Sankranti. You don't have to really ask for it. You are already rich. You don't have to worry about it. Just to give yourself to Krishna, identify re-establish your connection, automatically you are like that, like in the story. That's all it is.